I like boobies. You like boobies. Vicky likes boobies.
You're tacky and I hate you.
Now, are there any damn questions?
Have you any idea what the street value of this mountain is?
This is a nice fish, you know? Big fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish.
Now make yourself one, dickweed.
Sorry doesn't put the Triscuit crackers in my stomach, now does it, Carl?
But did you die? Maybe it's a 10-year plan.
Somebody listen to us. No, we know they're listening.
There's tens of thousands of fucking people that listen to the show.
I wonder if that number's accurate, but okay.
It is. The problem is, like, I listen to 13 different podcasts, right? I've not once interacted with any of them. And I've been listening to them for years. So
I know someone who has.
It's not like, it's not unheard of, but like, I think Joe has too much faith in these fucking people.
I just would love to see someone win this awesome hat. Are we recording? Okay, this awesome navy hat with nerdities in red, designed by our own Mike. Yeah. No, even I'll ask, what's awesome about it? It has our name on it. That's what's awesome about it. I'd go high quality, given its production. Excellent, maybe, because I'm the artist. But I don't know. I'm not in awe of it. So I don't know if I'd go with awesome.
Not that fucking great. But
it's awesome. It's a nerdities hat.
But to be fair, it's free.
Yeah, it's a free hat. That's my sticking point. That's my problem. Yeah, like you said, I don't interact with shows either that I've listened to really well. I used to call into radio shows back in the day. It's when you have the fucking time to. But like, no. If they said, send us an email and you might be able to win this, I'd carve out a minute. Yeah. You know, send an email to nerdities@gmail.com. Just write in the subject, free hat. You don't even have to say anything, but you have till the end of the month. And end of April, and we'll pick a winner. The first one. The first person. We'll pick
Joe.
There's only going to be one.
Joe, I'd mentioned in the group chat, since I've updated you quite a few times since we put this out there last week when the show dropped, that the fucking useless pores that listen to the show weren't going to do what you wanted them to do.
Carry over.
I said that I would help incentivize. So not only...
You did.
Not only if you use your fat, greasy little hands to type an email, will you get...
I still love you.
Will you get the fucking hat for free? But Sinful Creations by Justin will gift you a dozen cinnamon rolls.
Ooh. Big upgrade, folks. That is a major upgrade. That's incentivizing. That perfectly applies the word incentive. That's free food.
Yeah.
In this day and age, the eggs alone to make that.
Yeah.
That's nerdities@gmail.com. NERDATIES @gmail.com. They could have been.
Now, Joe.
Yeah.
This is where it becomes fun for me.
Oh boy.
See, now they have 3 weeks left, correct?
Yes.
We give them a month.
Mm-hmm.
They get the cinnamon rolls if they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do it, I will cook you and Beth a gourmet dinner.
Oh, shit.
Now, remember, the person that emails us cannot be anybody that we fucking know.
Right.
So Pat,
it's got to be a listener.
Pat is already aware that he can't do it.
He's not happy about it, but
our family members who listen, cannot, Mike Giannone cannot email Vinny.
Megan's a listener.
He doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It has to be a legit listener that we've not interacted with. And I will throw them in the cinnamon rolls. I will cook you the dinner. However,
It's a hashtag.
Joseph,
It's
always a but. Sometimes
there is a but.
if I'm right, okay, if I'm
Make him
right,
eat the hat. Make him eat the hat.
Yeah, or your underwear.
no,
Yeah. Mixed with the hat. Both.
you will have to write an essay
What is this?
and read it on the show about you denouncing your fandom for Star Trek and James Bond.
Oh. Star Trek Picard has been so good.
This is an interesting moral conundrum. How willing are you to put yourself out there for the show, Joe?
I'm sacrificing a lot. A dozen cinnamon rolls from Sinful Creations by Justin is like $36 fucking. So,
I want Team Justin.
and I'm also going to cook you and your darling wife a gourmet dinner.
I'm not picking sides here. I just like to watch the
But
world burn.
that also means that when you lose,
Ooh.
you have to
Conceding that's just a possibility.
you have to then write a nice little essay denouncing your fandom.
3 paragraphs minimum.
At least an opening and a closing,
Yeah.
and a decent sized body.
Yeah. Minimum.
Minimum.
A good essay is 5 paragraphs.
Yeah.
That's like a B plus. And if it's written well, A. Trust me, I used to get those all the time. A
I've
really
been out of
shitty
school
one.
for a while. There's no 5-paragraph essay in me.
So Joe, do you have that much faith in the pores?
I have that much faith in our fans and our listeners that they will write into nerdities@gmail.com, nerdaties@gmail.com, and with the subject line free hat, and win the one-of-a-kind Nerdities hat.
You know what? This makes me think. I've been wanting to do a topic. I'm not exactly sure what show to do it on.
Yeah.
If it's like a weekend question or if it's just its own show, like ranking your fandom. Like if you had high, medium, low, let's say, or whatever your layering is, but like where would you put certain things in your fandom hierarchy? If Joe legally had to say that Star Trek and Bond aren't even on his lower rung. That's what could happen, Joe. If this happens after the end of if we do that show after the end of the month.
I want to point out
nerdaties@gmail.com.
I want to point out that Vinny's face lit up like a kid on Christmas morning when I had put out that Joe had to denounce Star Trek. It might have been my favorite thing.
I'm on your team. When he goes, "Oh, Picard's so good this week," said no one ever.
My favorite part of this is kind of like I have Trek love. I will not hold it back. Sure, I've been watching the Star Trek channel on Pluto lately, just as background.
Like
Put it after me.
The Shatner version. That's the only one I watch.
Next Generation, man.
Yeah, even I like
playing both.
Even I like Next Generation.
Never seen it.
But I think that's a fair trade. My culinary services for the denouncing of your fandoms.
You got a deal. So, to our listeners out there, you can win a free hat. All you have to do is email in. It's just free hat. That's it.
Joe, I just want to remind you.
Yourself. Throw in the other stuff too.
Hashtag Star Trek, right?
Yeah, Joe, talk about the cinnamon rolls. Fuck.
And a dozen delicious cinnamon rolls. You have food and a hat. Win, win.
And also, if anybody hates me enough and they don't like that I can be this deplorable to other individuals on this show, it's a good way to shut me the fuck up, but that's never going to happen. I just want you to realize something, Joseph. I own another person's soul because of a bet.
Whatever you do, don't let him up the ante in the last week.
Oh, no. I've known Justin a long time. No.
Listen, you went down to Georgia and you were looking for a soul to steal?
Did you never hear the story of how I acquired a second soul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about the man, jump about Joe. Think about that.
Because when
I
was he singing like no? Cup of nay in a win.
All right, Mike, we should probably do the intro with 10 minutes in.
Probably. It was obviously upstairs, saving Mike.
Justin.
Kyle's dealing with family stuff.
Ben.
There you go. And the man risking it all.
Joe wearing the one-of-the-kind Nerdies hat.
Don't lie to him.
It's a second of a kind.
Well, there's a second one. I have the one, and there's another one. But it is one of a
The
kind.
two of a kind. The two of a kind hat.
There is a second one, but it's one of a kind.
Well, it's all good. I spent more time in jail today than our former president, so it's okay.
Hey,
Delicious.
Oh.
That's late night.
Oh. Boy, did that suck.
I'm really hoping that someone does actually write in, because I think we should write as a note in there, first, eat these cinnamon rolls, and now you can go shit in your hat.
So,
I hope they rock this hat just proudly.
I tried.
Free hat.
I was saying before we started recording that I tried to take the high road today. I tried.
For how long? Like how many seconds?
Just not long. So, as we know, the shenanigans at the post office that I work at, and the impish supervisor that has it out for me, he was there today. I had a problem with some mail that I was getting at my case for a P.O. box that I don't have a P.O. box. That's a whole different section of the office that's supposed to go to. So I asked the one supervisor, like, why do I keep getting this? She's like, I don't know. As I'm leaving away from her, he comes out and he sits down and he's like, oh, Nicole, did Justin bring you cinnamon rolls? Ho, ho, ho. And I stopped and turned around. And she's like, no. And she cackles like the fucking hyena witch that she is. And I was like, don't worry, guys. On my last day, I'm going to have a very special present for you. And my plan is to bring them some cinnamon rolls and spell out "Eat Me" with the icing.
Nice.
Because I can't get in trouble for it. It's the directions.
Mm-hmm. On each one of them? Or, like, each one will have "Eat Me" written on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not just, like, all of them together.
Yeah,
and because if it's, like, one big "Eat Me"...
Yes, that be misconstrued.
That's a message.
Yes.
That's a message. If each one is just... Then you're in Alice in Wonderland territory.
That's right.
For all they know, they could be getting big and small. Although they could think you put something in there. Because, one pill makes you larger.
Yeah.
And the other one makes you small.
Well, after he ate one, and if he did grow, he'd finally be able to ride the rides at the amusement parks.
Oh.
So, I was like, I said, I have a special surprise for you, and I walked away, and they're like, And he's like, oh, is it a brick and mortar shop, or, what are you doing? I was like, from home. And so I stewed in it for a second. I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking leaving anyway, who cares? So I turned around to Joe, and I was like, hey, Joe, I was like, just a reminder for you and anybody else who's listening that wants to order stuff for the weekend for Easter. I was like, just remember, you can go online or text me directly for your order. You don't have to have your nosy bitch girlfriend snoop around on my private Facebook to try to get information on me.
That was well veiled.
Yeah. And he like shot me a look, and I just smiled right back at him. And Joe was like, "Dude, what? Not my most vile or egregious acts, but I've it satiated me."
Well, I think there's a professor who made a chart about the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And I guess this gentleman fucked around, or maybe his wife did, and he found out.
He fucked around on his wife with someone else that works in the post office.
Nice.
He's still dating the chick from the post office. He's divorced.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have said that on a podcast that's listened to by like tens of thousands of people. But oh well. What you gonna do?
Anywho.
Well, they're all just listening for tea dropping.
Yeah.
And free hats and cinnamon rolls. Yeah.
Honestly, Joe, I feel like with the bet, I feel like a lot of people were like, get this guy away from Star Trek. No one would know about that. Now that that's dangled, that carrot's dangled, they're like, cinnamon rolls, or this guy doesn't have to do that anymore.
Let me be clear. The cinnamon rolls are fucking delicious.
I know. But Joe's fan of her Star Trek is a little pasty, too.
I'm thinking about cinnamon rolls.
It's not like he can never watch Star Trek. He just can't talk about it ever again around us.
And he has to denounce it.
Everybody's going to lose out on my opinions on the new season of Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, the crossover episode, Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, all that.
Possibly Star Trek Legacy.
Not going to be able to do that.
That's right, folks. You're not going to hear Joe's biting insight on all those shows.
Give me heartburn.
End of Discovery. When Henry Cavill becomes James Bond.
That's your boy. Your boy, Vin. Huh?
Henry Cavill is going to be Omni-Man in the live action Invincible.
I don't see that at all.
Yeah,
I heard 40K fell through. Did you guys hear about that?
The what?
The Warhammer show. I heard that fell through.
Really? Because he's going to be Bond.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to be Bond anymore, dude. That's got to go. That's got to go.
I wasn't surprised when you said that like a Warhammer show got killed. How many fans of that are there to support? There's just not enough.
40,000.
Oh.
I was just talking about Warhammer this weekend with 3 other gentlemen.
Do they play?
They love it.
Okay. So I've never actually met anyone that plays it.
The geeks, when I was younger, they loved it.
My buddy plays. He's got a whole bunch of miniatures and stuff that he paints.
One might say that Warhammer has a bigger following than that of James Bond.
I call bullshit on that one. I call bullshit.
I might say a lot of things.
There's a whole country that hand pies the James Bond films.
Yeah. They Warhammer themselves over James Bond.
Franchise has been around for 60 years. How long's Warhammer been around? Not 60 years.
Long enough to not have been beaten with or bludgeoned rather, with a remake after remake after remake.
Oh no. It's all one continuity. It all makes sense.
Minus the Craig films, because they're their own universe.
Are they though?
Oh, yes. Especially the way the last one ended? Yes.
Shit, now we're talking about Bond.
Yeah, we are.
No.
Let's talk nerdy stuff.
Yeah. Talk casting. Frank Grillo, or Grillo, if you want to be all Italian about it, the dude who played Crossbones in the Marvel Universe, is
36 years Warhammer has been around.
Okay.
So not 60.
So Frank Grillo is going to be in the DC project. We don't know what, but it's of course everybody gets to be in every universe now. But it's like what he said about it that I feel like he's burning a bridge he doesn't need to.
He's very unhappy about them never going back to his character.
But, like, they keep using. He's like a utility guy for them now. They brought him in for What If. They could absolutely have more roles for him like that. You know, I understand. Sure. Okay. Here's the quote. They never told the story about Crossbones, said Grillo. The mythology of the MCU and just what Marvel has in its pool of characters, it's so deep. Crossbones was there for a minute, but he was supposed to be there longer, and they went in directions they did. I think Crossbones serves a purpose, but I think the interesting thing is that if you see how many people around the world responded to Crossbones, and again, he's only there for a very fucking short amount of time, verbatim. I was there for more than that. I think there's more there. I think there was more meat on the bone. I was disappointed, which is why I went over to DC. Like, there's no reason to talk down what they did. You can always get more opportunities from them. The character's not completely gone. We have a multiversal story going on. And, like, it's fucking Crossbones, bro. If you say you know anything about the character, he's only ever been a lackey. He's someone's henchman. If he's not the Red Skull's henchman, he's the Red Skull's daughter's henchman. You picked a character who was never going to be central, bro. Just kind of live with it.
Did you watch any of the movies?
Well, the Marvel stuff?
Yeah.
Like, he was there since the Winter Soldier. So, like...
Yeah, I know who he is. I think I know who he is. So he's seen how they came out with the Black Widow movie after she died. They came out with the Hawkeye show to pretty much pass the torch. Like, Hulk got bitched out, and he's worried about a henchman with more meat.
I think it's weird that he thought, like, Crossbones would ever be a focus of anything. It's not nice to say about the character, but he's a tool. The guy's not. The guy's good. He's fucking he brought a lot to the character. But, like, he was never going to be, even if when they hired him, they're like, oh yeah, he's going to have his own arc. It's going to be really great. He's going to be very important. Like, no, it's fucking Crossbones, bro.
Yeah. I think there's a little ego behind that. He's probably just upset that, you know.
He wanted more from it.
Who would he play in DC? Who would be a perfect character for him?
Poison Ivy.
Obviously, he's more of a Catwoman.
Yeah.
It's the dark hair. He doesn't look good in red.
He's actually... he's Harley Quinn in The Joker, too.
Ooh, full of dough.
Full of dough.
That's what it is. There's two Harley Quinns. There's a man and a woman.
Yep.
I mean, if we're going to be straight up shooting, Deathstroke?
That's kind of what I was thinking, too.
That's lazy, but yeah.
It is lazy.
You're saying Clayface is going to be in The Batman, the Part 2.
I don't buy that. I've seen the images, too. I know the story you're talking of, but I don't think they're going to go that, like, out there for that.
No.
Yeah, it's weird. That's a weird pull. If that's supposed to be a way more grounded universe.
Yeah.
I don't.
If he was going to do that, though, I'd give him fucking props. If you're going to go that sci-fi with that universe in your second movie, maybe there is a lot of potential. Maybe we will see Pattinson fighting fucking Mr. Freeze. Maybe he will meet a Superman.
Yeah.
Hope for that universe yet. Demetrius Gross, who's a guy I don't know, but he's been in a handful of stuff. I'm going to say some things, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, I watched that. Oh, apparently he was on Banshee.
Yes, he is.
That dude. I haven't seen him in anything, but he's going to be Eric Williams, the brother of Simon Williams in the Wonder Man show from Marvel. Yeah, they're going to do a version of the Grim Reaper in live action. And if there's one instance where the look of the costume being transported over from the comics is important, it's this one. They better not fucking do it. That costume is stupid looking. They need to update the shit out of that. Like, sure, keep some kind of sickle, like, energy blade on his right hand or whatever. Cool, yeah, we've already seen that once in Marvel Universe, but sure, it's kind of who that character is. Just not the cape, not the big Galactus headgear, just something better than that. But yeah, cool. They're going straight up from the comics. Last bit of casting, complete unknown is going to be playing Lilo. Good.
Did you see her picture?
I haven't seen the
Yes.
picture yet. I went to her IMDb, and I think I was the first person to ever go there.
She is adorable.
Is she straight up Lilo?
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did a statewide search, essentially, throughout Hawaii. Finding unknown girls. And, yeah, for something like this, you need that.
Here, I just sent it to the group.
Yeah. That's adorable.
Right.
Yeah.
She is adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good bit.
Good job, Disney.
You know what's interesting? She doesn't necessarily look like the drawing of her completely.
No.
Which makes me think her performance is going to be spot on Lilo.
Yeah.
Because, like, they have, in the animated version, she's kind of like a little pudgy girl, a little kind of awkward. Yeah. And this kid just looks more like athletic, skinny kid. But you need that kind of adorable Lilo-ness. Mm-hmm. That's great. Totally unknown.
I have two castings. Dopinder and Blind Al are returning for Deadpool 3.
Saw that one, but it's kind of like a foregone conclusion. I wasn't necessarily going to bring it up, but yeah.
And
damn well better.
They announced the Scott Pilgrim anime series for Netflix is going to have everybody from the movie reprising their roles.
Everyone?
Everyone.
So,
did that do well, the movie?
Well enough.
Yeah.
Well enough.
Oh, someone's too focused on their hat. Usually they'd be looking this type of stuff up.
No, it's got a pretty big cult following.
Oh, yeah.
I'll budget, like, gross-wise and things like that.
I know it did well. It didn't blow the doors off.
No, it wasn't like a...
But I think it wasn't that big of a budget to begin with, so they didn't expect too much.
No, he did well enough.
Actually.
Yeah, budget of $60 million.
Yeah, it wasn't a box office hit.
No, gross of $50 million.
It does have a cult following.
Technically a failure, but it was never, like, they were never expecting it to be a blockbuster.
One of my favorite movies.
I love it.
It is excellent, which is the reason why when you posted this in the group, I was like, fucking why? They told the story and they did it well. What, they're going to put a little more flesh on them?
There's a lot of flesh they could put on it, given the series. But even if they do a sequel, and they since it is
that would be great.
Technically a video game universe, these guys have extra lives or however the fuck you want to. I'm all about it.
There's obviously more story after that to tell. I would love to see movies. They're not gonna. They're too old. This is perfect.
Yeah.
When you say you're going to readapt that story, though, when that's what they lay out there, which is what they're going to do, because they fucking killed half of those characters in the movie. Spoiler. There's a lot of them that don't come back.
Right, but I'm you're gonna get a fuck ton more story, which is great. I'm all about this. I'm all about movies getting turned into TV series.
Well,
but yeah, those are my castings.
Then you wanted to say something there, or is he highlighting?
Scott Pilgrim stinks. I don't like it. You can't take a $10 million budget, turn it into $100 million like some other movies I know. But that's fine.
Someone clearly had a swig of Haterade before starting the podcast today.
Always. By the way, I think I'm 10-time Hater of the Year champion amongst my friends. It's hard work. It's not easy, but someone's got to do it.
Some people were born to hate.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I just want to update you. I just opened the Nerdity's email. Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
Okay. Obviously, this show's not going to affect that.
No, yeah.
I'm telling you, Joe, your hashtag is Star Trek, as much as I hate to say it. Those are the guys you got to get in there. they'd be like, "Holy shit, a free hat!"
That's true. If the Trekkies get in there and they're like, we can't let a brother denounce the Starfleet.
Yeah, Justin's con.
Yeah, Justin.
Well, we need to talk Star Trek more until then.
No, we don't.
Fuck.
I do have to know, has Vince seen any Star Trek? Have you watched even a single thing?
Dude, I watched the old school episodes with Shatner. Hilarious. So funny. I saw the Pine movies. The second one was very forgettable. I liked the first one.
I agree. The second one was not great.
First one's pretty
But
tough.
we already seen it. It was called Wrath of
Yeah.
Outside of that,
Did you see the one with the whales?
That's for people who are already invested in the characters. You don't throw someone into friggin' Voyage
Whales?
Home.
I've also seen the Shatner movies.
Okay, so you've seen the whales.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember it though. I just remember they start off on the Enterprise like the first one, and then like there's like a second or third one. He's in like his loft, and he's like got a cool robe on, and he's like, "We don't do that anymore." And then they put him back out there somehow, some way. Am I right about that?
Nope.
No? There isn't one where he's like in like an apartment building or whatever, and he doesn't.
That was Rocky IV.
He's not captain anymore.
In Star Trek 3, when they're toasting Spock, toast.
Man, I don't remember him
The ones
dressing
who didn't make it.
ever.
There's
no grotto.
You didn't at least see Wrath of Khan?
I have.
Okay.
I figured at least seeing like the JJ ones, you'd see some merit in what a Star Trek story can be.
You guys, I like old school movies. I'm a Star Wars guy through and through, okay? Me used to like a Star Wars more than a Star Trek, so.
Oh, you said people won't die? Alright, let's do trailers then.
Trailer time.
Trailer time. We got a new Spider-Verse trailer, even though we were already fucking sold on it. Every last person in the country, essentially. But yeah. And
this one cleared up a little bit, though.
Yeah, it further highlights that Miguel O'Hara is as big a dick in this as he was in the prime.
Yeah, but he's not, like, directly out to, like, fucking murder.
Well, no, he's not a mustache-twirling villain, but he's a bit of a controlling prick, it seems.
Yeah. They did name drop the MCU, though.
Oh, they did.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare that a trailer is that kind of gutsy. Not even gutsy. It's almost, I don't want to say desperate, or is it just having fun?
It's fun.
Didn't need to
I'd say fun, because that, the first one did win an Oscar.
Can't wait. What else is there to say about it?
Yeah.
The end with the meme with all the Spider-Men pointing at each other is great.
I do look forward to their overall commentary on the tropes of Spider-Man. That last shot of it where you have a Spider-Man in therapy and his therapist is a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's funny. Dropping those kind of jokes just in the trailer. We're only about a month or two away, right? June 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Sweet. Barbie, what the fuck is this movie about?
Whoa, it looks like a fever dream.
It continues to be a pastel nightmare.
It looks like she's going to go to the real world, as pointed out by the sign that says "Real World This Way." And
but how?
I don't know, but they might have sold me on the whole "I'm going to beach you off."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is what we're going to do in this movie? Fuck.
Using Barbie as a vehicle for dick jokes is surprising.
Yeah, and I fucking love Simu Liu.
Michael Cera is in there. I didn't know. Apparently he's playing Ken's close friend or Ken's best friend. There was a character named Eric or something.
Yeah.
News to me. The moment that might have sold me is the very beginning of the trailer where she steps out of her shoes and she does the feet thing, the Barbie feet thing. That's fucking brilliant.
I'm gonna stay over tonight. That's what boyfriends and girlfriends do.
If they don't address the fact that they're completely smooth all over,
dude, of course we all thought this was gonna be really fucking stupid, but this is clever. That's some clever fucking writing so far.
I see a lot of potential with this.
Yeah. Now I'm intrigued. I won't go to the theater to see this fucking thing.
No.
But I will go out of my way to watch it as soon as it hits digital.
I want to look up. I've seen the name of the director. Let me just go directly to Barbie. Around.
Yes, you have.
Greta Gerwig?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what has she been attached to? Okay, Ladybird, Mistress. Alright, very... Isle of Dogs. She says, okay, she's also an actress. More of an actress than she's a director, seems. She's very new behind the camera these days.
Yeah, she did Little Women. She...
adapted Little Women.
Yeah.
Directed Ladybird, and okay, so, yeah. Very new to the game. Come on, you fucking... Cool. It's just... This is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Whole thing looks absurd. But yes, like you, once it comes on a streamer,
yeah,
I'll give it at least a half hour and see what it's all about. Now, the one we've been waiting for a while, part of the death knell of the DCEU, the unfortunate death knell, because this one looks like it's got a lot of potential. Might just be its own little thing.
Well, from what it sounds like, is Gunn is optimistic that if it does well, he's going to keep this one.
He's going to fold it into his plans?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be part of the...
Which is great.
Yeah.
Well,
Blue Beetle looks really, 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 really cool because apparently they're keeping the entire history of the Blue Beetle. It's not just Jaime and the Scarab. It's Ted Cord. It's the other Beetle before that. I don't really think the Golden Age Beetle. It's a lot of service to all the versions of this character. So smart. You might not ever get this character on screen again. I think the most interesting part about the whole deal is we're finally going to get a superhero where right out of the gate his entire family knows what's going on.
Yes.
And are going to be there to support him and actually in on the hijinks.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I became a big Blue Beetle fan after watching the first season of Young Justice. And then went back and read a lot of the comics that I could get my hands on. I like the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle character, and I'm pretty excited for this. This potentially could be the best thing that DC's done.
I definitely got the Iron Man vibe when he was flying around in the suit.
Sure. But
I don't know the vibe. I like Drew. He was my favorite Blue Beetle. Wasn't a big fan of the green one, Roland, or Joe, the red one.
That's a Beetleborgs reference for
That annoyed the shit
no
out of
one
me.
that's getting that.
I want that chin and the nose.
That's a deep bench pull.
Mm-hmm. He makes a fucking Buster Sword.
He does. That is pretty cool.
Like, come on. This is gonna do good. This is gonna be their fucking homecoming.
They call Batman a fascist.
That's not wrong.
The internet was not happy.
No, they weren't.
How dare blah 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 blah. Yep.
Let's see. In that universe, their Batman brands people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And murders them.
Yeah.
He's a fucking fascist. George Lopez put it properly. I don't know about his beard. That's a little off-putting.
I don't know, because he looks like he could be selling spare parts on, like, some distant outer rim planet with that beard.
Yeah, he's very Tatooine.
Yeah.
He should be telling Anakin to get inside because the sandstorm's coming.
Yeah. But I think it looks fun.
Yeah. Were there any more trailers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Secret Invasion.
Oh, that's right. That did drop. Might want to back end that because there's news attached to it. Ah, fuck it. Just drop it. We'll see the news in there.
Secret Invasion. It looks good.
Yeah. Finally, kind of know a bit more what it's about, even though it's, if you know anything about the comic it's based off of, it's Skrulls hiding amongst us. Except this time they're not taking over superpowered people as much as influential government agents.
Yeah.
So it becomes less of a punchy, smash 'em up event and more of a 3 days of the Condor. Did I get that right? 2 days of all the President's Men, Manchurian Candidate kind of dealing.
Spy vs. Spy.
Yeah, very political thriller.
Yeah.
Good, smart. Political sci-fi thriller. And they let drop who some of the characters are that we've been guessing. Apparently, Amelia Clark.
Yes.
Your Daenerys Targaryen.
Khaleesi.
That's your Daenerys Targaryen. My Lady Kira.
My not Sarah Connor.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. She gave a good job though. She did good work. It was the movie around her. Like most Terminator films, everyone puts their all into it. It's the movie around them, that's the problem. But yeah, she's apparently going to be playing the character we first saw in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
She's Talos' daughter. And doesn't quite agree with Daddy all the time, it would seem. She's one of the insurgents. As is Kingsley Benadir. He's, I have to look up his name. As it's none of the characters we were hoping for. It's not Clerk. He's not going to be the Super Skrull.
Although he kind of is.
He seems to be doing things in the trailer that other Skrulls don't.
Yeah.
Like he used his body in a more tentacle way. Do I remember that from
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he is under a different name. That'd be pretty sweet. And next?
That was it.
That was it? Alright, good. I don't know why I didn't write that one down.
No.
Alright, so reviews. I got 2 reviews for yous.
I've got reviews.
Okay.
It's just my usual weekly Mando, but this week's was really fucking cool.
I kind of keep loving this series more and more now. Now that we got over the hump of that Coruscant episode, which wasn't even bad.
No.
It set up a lot.
But, fuck, dude, we got live action Zeb.
I will always love Star Wars for its ability to make me either almost cry or completely cry with the simplest shit. And seeing a purple, 7-foot tall alien walking around with normal people did it for me.
Bro, I almost woke Zach up Friday night when we watched this. Because I was like, Zeb! And James is like, it's Zeb! And Ashley's like, what? And we're like, it's from Star Wars Rebels.
We're going to see so much more of him in Ahsoka.
I know.
So who do you think broke Gideon out at the end?
She did.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Well, they say it's bounty hunter. It's Mandalorians. But obviously she was involved in it. I think she hired some. And that's what Sabine going to be. That would be pretty great. If we could get Sabine by the end of this season.
Yeah.
She is confirmed to be in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But that would be a beautiful surprise to tee her up in this. So do you think instead of him being released by Imperials, he was captured by her to get the information they wanted?
Well, Lego, in their spoilery glory, did release a set that contained a certain looking Mandalorian that had some, spoiler alert, very Darth Maulian armor.
Oh, so one of the Death Watch is coming?
Possibly.
Sweet.
But, the crew that Mando's with are essentially the Death Watch.
I think we're going to get a Mandalorian versus Mandalorian war.
Well, they got to bring them together. That's the whole point of what's happening. Literally, the episode ended in a really cool way.
Yeah.
I was kind of annoyed at the Armorer for a while for being so strict to the way, but I enjoy leaders like that in real life and in fiction. Ones that see the problem in front of them and realize I got to change to face the problem. And she's obviously we got to come together, and we can't just have her walking around with her helmet on, recruiting people that we need. She's got to be out there with them.
Yeah.
She floats between two worlds. It's a great way to look at shit.
So what do we get Thrawn? after credits for the last episode, or we get him before that?
Yeah. If you throw him in to the actual story of what's happening, it's like throwing Darth Vader in
Yeah,
there.
it's gonna
It's all
muddy it.
anybody wants to look at.
Yeah.
We know he's going to be the big overall bad for the everything.
Yeah, because they're saying this is a giant overarching story between Mando, Boba Fett, and Ahsoka.
And the other one. Oh, God, why can't I think of the name of it? Jude Law series. No, the Jude Law series that's coming out.
Skeleton Crew? They're
Skeleton Crew.
Not really connected to anything.
That's supposed to connect.
Is it? Because that's...
Yep.
I've probably heard that's supposed to be its own deal.
Favreau has stated that season 4 is already written, and that's not even the halfway point of the story he wants to tell.
Beautiful. Okay, so my 2 reviews this week.
Oh, wait. I do have one more.
What?
I finally got to watch an episode of the dubbed version of Chainsaw Man. It's a new anime. Whoa. That was fucking crazy.
Is it violent as you'd expect something Chainsaw Man to be?
Dude. James and I watched the first episode the other night, and he's like, this is cool, but whoa. And I was
You
like,
scarred him?
nah.
Maybe it's not that messed up after
But
all.
it's pretty fucking violent. It's bloody. For sure.
Sounds like a great plot.
It's good. Well, the plot is, it's actually pretty fucked up. So this kid's dad is a deadbeat who owes the Yakuza money, and he hangs himself, and the Yakuza puts the father's debt on the kid. And so the kid's got to constantly work for them to work off the debt. And so he hunts in this world, of course there's demons. So he's got to hunt devils for them because he does it for cheap and, they don't have to pay professional devil hunters. And so he's doing his thing. He's got this little devil dog that's got a chainsaw face that he saves at his dad's funeral. And it had gotten hurt, so it was dying, and he let the dog bite him to get his blood so he can heal himself. And he made a pact with him. And they're they hung. And then it comes to find out that the Yakuza boss he's working for made a deal with an even more powerful devil. And that didn't work out too well for the Yakuza boss. And so the devil used the Yakuza boss's body to lure the poor kid into this warehouse where all these other possessed humans are, and they fucking kill him and the dog, but some of the blood gets in the dog's mouth, so it revives him, and the dog attaches itself to the dude and transfers its devil heart into the deceased body of the human. And so he comes back to life, but with the devil's dog's essence. And so, he pulls the ripcord that's on his chest now, and then he turns into Chainsaw Man.
What the fuck is happening in Japan?
That's some kind of snuff shit.
It was fucking great.
It sounds cool.
It's very cool.
That shit makes Hideo Kojima games sound sensible.
I know. It's on Hulu. You can watch it.
I'm aware. I'm avoiding. Today, the new PlayStation Plus games dropped, as every first Tuesday of the month. And one of the surprising ones is called Meet Your Maker, because it came out today. It's a day one PS Plus. It's a PS5, though. I don't think there's a 4 version, so I don't know if you guys can fuck around with it, even if you're in the mood for it. But the concept is pretty interesting. Post-apocalyptic, 75% of games out there. You have to get genetic material from other people's bases, but those bases are designed by other players. They're fortresses that you have to get in and get out, avoid traps, and kill their guards to get this genetic material back to your hive to give to the Chimera Queen. This is starting to sound like fucking Chainsaw Man the more and more I throw it.
See?
They're all pretty ridiculous. And you have to design your own fortress to block other people from stealing your genetic material. So it's a giant, like, dungeon crawl against other people's Mario Maker levels that murder you. And the creepiest part about it is, at the beginning of each level, there's this thing that starts where you enter the place, and it walks toward the genetic material. It's a person that walks around like a dog with a fucking chest on their back, breathing heavy and kind of slurping the whole time. So you'll randomly be trying to find where the next trap is, looking around, looking for clues, and then hear walking up from behind you. It's unnerving. Game's pretty cool, though. I'm going to give it a day or two, see if there's any weight to it. The other day, I was messing around on Amazon Prime, and I came across Top Gun Maverick is out on there now. It's free to watch.
On what?
On Prime. It's part of the Prime thing. I saw it on Saturday, and I'm like, you know what? Sunday, I got nothing to do. I'm going to sit around and watch movies. And when Sunday came around, I turned on Tubi and watched Tale of Tales instead of fucking Top Gun, because I'm not... Everyone who likes fucked up anthology fantasies should watch Tale of Tales. Starring Salma Hayek, John C. Reilly, the dude who played the Night Fox in the two Oceans movies. I can never remember his name. And Toby Jones, the guy who played Arnim Zola. Anyone who likes grim fairy tales and shit like that should check this movie out. Because it is like the classic versions of those stories, except it's ones that weren't popularized. It wasn't like Hansel and Gretel and Three Bears and shit like that. These are deeply fucked up, ogre-laden stories, just like murder and like cannibalism and shit. Fair amount of sex too. Really beautiful too. Really well put together. Definitely recommend it. And it's on Tubi, so it's free. All right. I got news. You got news?
I have a review also, if you guys...
Sweet.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes.
Justin didn't wait for that.
I did it. I had a 7-day free trial of Stars up, and I was like, Beb, Daddy's feeling froggy. I think it's one of the most funnest movies I've watched in a long time.
Is it as absurd as a movie starring Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage should be?
Kinda, yeah. Like, it's not over the top, but it's a good movie. It's not a crazy story. Like, you can kind of guess what happens, but like, even so, it's just, I don't know. It's an easy watch, and it's fun. It's funny. A little bit of action. It's just a good movie. It's not going to break the bank. You're not going to rank it in your top 10.
I do want to see it, though.
It's a good. It's just a good movie.
The few scenes I've caught, like the one where he's showing him the statue or the wax version of him, the whole fanboying out thing, but still being protective of the shit, like being so obsessed about the guy that you won't even let the guy have the thing.
Oh, dude, he's like supposed to be like a Mexican cartel connected guy, and he's just doing this shit. He's like, I'm just so nervous to meet him, man.
He's this crazy murderer guy who's fanboying about Nick Cage.
Yeah. So it's great.
That does sound proper, so
Nick Cage is Nick Cage, but that's how steals the show. He's kind of on Tom Hardy level for me now, where he can kind of do whatever, and I'll watch it.
They put out a few more commercials for Renfield, and have you seen the ones with the old footage in them?
Yes, for the recreation of the 31 Dracula, yeah.
Yeah, they've essentially taken those scenes and deep faked his face in there, and then for the reverse angles, just shots of Nicholas Hoult.
I fucking love it.
It's brilliant. I wanted to see this movie before in here, because I remember they said it was going to be a sequel to those movies, but I figured they were going to do the Hollywood thing of, oh, we changed it so much, so it's a spiritual sequel. No, they're straight up doing a fucking sequel. He's doing Bela Lugosi in those scenes.
And
Really.
if anybody was going to be Dwight Fry, it would be Holt. It's great.
He's hit the renaissance of his career. If only he could stop buying stupid shit.
Another castle.
All right, let's do some stories then. Joe Quesada, who is Marvel, he's the Marvel editor-in-chief for a while. He ran the Marvel Knights line. He's been Marvel, bleeding red. Well, everyone bleeds red. He's been bleeding Marvel red for almost 30 years. He's been running Marvel for more than a decade. Was let go last year. Is now working for Amazon. And the rumor has it he's going to be heading their Spidey-related projects. So he basically just did a lateral move for more money. But that gives me hope that shows like Silk, I believe it's the Spider Society or something is the surname on that one, might have some kind of weight to them. They at least have the support of someone who knows what the fuck is going on. Along the same thought process, Ike Perlmutter has been let go, has been laid off by Disney.
Good.
Yes. I know you'll appreciate this, Justin, a cost-cutting measure.
Yeah, I do. I do appreciate that a lot.
Yes, the irony is palpable. Because Ike Perlmutter was the reason that the first half of the MCU was so fucking frustrating for Kevin Feige. He had to legit go over his head to, to Alan Horn? Or no, he had to go to Bob Iger to get Perlmutter off his fucking ass and let him make movies the way he wanted to. And it was at that point that the Marvel Cinematic Universe completely took off. It was right before Civil War. I think it was him trying to get Civil War made and Perlmutter sticking his fucking nose in and cutting the budget is what said enough is enough. If this thing's going to get made right, I got to get this prick out of here. And now he's completely out. Although he still does own a shitload of Disney stock, so gone but not completely forgotten. Get some other stuff. I'm not really going to get too into it, but they dropped a chunk of the Volume 3 playlist for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm a little let down by some of the choices, but I'm mostly let down by the fact that they dropped the playlist.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Why? They've done it for every film.
They didn't? Did they do it for the first one?
Sure did.
It wasn't as important at the time.
Well, because we didn't know anything. But yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they did it for the second movie. They did it for the Christmas special.
That's a lot of attention at that point.
I refuse to look at it because I don't want to be spoiled. I want to.
It's fucking songs. What do you mean be spoiled? It's not the fucking orchestral track list like Death of Everyone. It's like it's The Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. Like, who gives a shit?
Well, that does tell a lot that he's doing more modern stuff.
You would expect it to be a little bit more modern since Peter's got a Zune now and it's not an old cassette tape.
Yeah, but they could just choose to use the older stuff to keep him in that mindset. I do like the fact that they're modernizing it. You got to keep some variety in there. You're going to run out of shit from the 70s eventually. Yeah. At least good stuff.
So, get over it, Joe.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Alright, you covered Perlmutter. That was the only other... Oh, the track list. Yeah, okay. The Mario movie has been scoring 8s and 9s out of 10s on the early reviews. Everybody is kissing this movie's ass.
Not everybody.
Why? I haven't heard anything...
Superhero Hype said it was mediocre at best.
I don't get that because everywhere else...
They said there's not really much character development or not much story to it. They didn't do anything really beyond the standard Mario story, which, how much are you going to change? But it's pretty cookie cutter, they seem to say. And The performances by pretty much everyone
I feel
are
like
uninspired.
I feel like superhero hype is too pretentious for their own good.
I wouldn't say so. Most of their reviews on things are pretty much right down the middle.
I don't know.
They don't completely lambast it. They said if you like fun, Easter egg filled stuff that does good fan service, then this is your place to be.
I mean,
but
it's a kids movie. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, no, because you could have a kids movie that plays to adults well. Pixar does it all the time.
Yeah, but
what they're saying is they made a pretty generic kids movie, and that's unfortunate.
IGN is saying Super Mario Brothers movie is a fireball of animated fantasy. Mario, Luigi, and Peach's adventure delights with its infectious energy, and the top-shelf animation renders the Mushroom Kingdom as an Oz-like wonderland that begs to be explored in the inevitable sequels that will follow.
High energy, and it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't counter anything that Superhero Hype said.
As long as we don't get Koopa Trump and those electric cars and Bertha and those stupid bombs and Iggy and Ziggy and Miggy being idiots and the Goomba dance with the... No.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I'll be upset if Walk the Dinosaur isn't played at some point.
They're probably going to put the tune for it somewhere. They're going to walk by something and you're going to hear a MIDI version of it.
There's no E3 again this year because for some reason.
Because everyone pulled out of it.
Is that what that was?
Microsoft's doing their thing. Sony's doing their thing.
Nintendo's not going. Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft. I believe EA pulled out.
Wow. Everybody did.
No one's going to E3 this year.
That's rude.
Everybody's doing their own thing. It's like the Unreal just had a huge thing about all their new game engines and stuff, and the
options out there. You don't need to go to this big place for everyone to get together and look at your stuff. You could do a little boutique thingy and not have to deal with E3's rules about shit, about doing things under their roof. Or you could just do it like Sony does half the time with like a video online.
Mm-hmm.
These announcements don't need to happen at a big convention.
Also, I think they're trying to get to the next gen groundbreaking shit. I don't think that like PS5 is not that inspiring.
Well, there's nothing to announce right now. There's nothing new.
Right.
Like PS5 is okay. It loads faster. Cool. It's the same shit. You know, Xbox 2 is what is the next Xbox coming out? Who cares? It's the same shit.
Well, it's more the IPs that with Microsoft that they've acquired with Blizzard and Activision and ZeniMax. So they're going to be announcing their new IPs. Sony is counteracting with that with their
if it's not a hardware gear, you don't need to have demos on hand. You don't need in-person shit. If it's just, we got a handful of game releases, you rent out a hotel somewhere or do a pop-up and here's our stuff. Or like I was saying, put it out in a video. If you don't need people hands-on with your equipment, it's just an off year for E3.
When is Spider-Man 2 supposed to drop? Soon, right?
They keep changing it.
Saying fall.
That's going to make me get the PS5, that game.
Yeah. All right.
$1,000.
It was April Fool's Day the other day.
It's like $500.
And I saved some of my favorite April Fool's Day posts. Let's begin. Heroic Hollywood posted, shocker, James Gunn exits DC Studios, Dwayne Johnson to run unit.
That's a good one, because
it's a good one.
The way things are going.
Wouldn't even believe that.
Then next up, Heroic Hollywood. Breaking, Ben Affleck will bring the long-rumored Batman Deathstroke project to HBO Max as a series.
Oh, how many Snyder boners did that create?
Yeah. Next up was Disney Dining dropped. Bob Iger loses job as massive layoffs continue. CEO Bob Iger steps down, says no tagbacks.
I saw that one.
And the last one I have was from Auntie Anne's. and it was introducing Uncle Benny's snack, whatever the fuck it was called. So it's this big tray with a bunch of shit on it, and it's deep fried pretzel, bacon bit nuggets, spicy cheese nuggets, maple syrup pretzel, and steak roll-ups, which is just pieces of steak wrapped in a fucking pretzel.
I was going to save the one April Fool's prank that I really enjoyed this year for my nerd, but, I'll toss it in here because I got like 5 other fucking nerds this week.
Okay.
Lego. Did you see what they did?
No.
They sent out a kit to specific influencers for them to build, and it's supposed to be a grand pony or something. And after they put it together, it's like a snub-nosed dog. But it's one of those things where you're so in the moment putting the thing together that you don't notice what you've made until you pull back and look at it, and you're like, what the... And I guess at the end of the instruction manual was the April Fool's thing.
Nice.
It's pretty smart. It's subtle.
I like it. Okay. Disney announced that they will be building a 5th park this week.
Can't get done 1 week?
By 2032, it'll be open.
Wow.
Also, 2 smaller parks are being built. I'm assuming water parks.
That was all part of the big fuck you to DeSantis.
Yeah, it's the big fuck you to DeSantis.
That'll show him we're going to make more money hand over fist.
Yeah, exactly.
They make more money. They control more land. They can buy the vote. They get rid of them. That's their plan.
That's right.
They own the state. We don't need a governor anymore.
Harry Potter reboot TV series in the works at HBO Max. I'm all about this. I'm so happy about it. I'm glad that the full stories from the books are going to be able to be told and not crammed into 2.5 hour long movies. Not that the movies are terrible, because they're good, but there's so much story that's left out of them. You don't.
My worry is they're
don't
going to
get
insert romance and shit, and it's going to be like
Vinny,
wasted episodes of garbage.
Vinny, did you read any of the books?
Don't ask me again.
Because there's romance in the books. Like,
yeah, well, don't bring it to the big screen. Okay.
Because like Harry fucking Ron's sister, like that's not just they kiss at the last movie kind of thing. It builds up throughout like 3 different books.
Yeah, I think the movies did it right then.
No, I think you're wrong.
There's one thing I could give less shits about is who's Harry fucking.
I think you're upset, and you might be a little prudish when it comes to romance in movies. I think your love of action movies has clouded your mind for good storytelling.
This isn't true.
No, it is.
And romance isn't good storytelling.
Romance,
they kissed, they hugged, wow.
Romance is a great story.
At the gates? Oh, geez, why don't you just bang again? Show someone's ass cheeks. Let's see, please.
Princess Bride. Not good storytelling?
I've never seen it.
What?
Oh.
How the fuck does that happen?
They're not like chick flicks.
It's not a chick flick.
It's not a chick flick. Alright.
The Princess and the Bride, there's 2 women, it sounds like a chick flick.
No, the Princess Bride. It's one person.
Yeah, it sounds like one person next to 2 chicks.
You don't like anything other than action movies, do you?
Who hurt you, Vinny?
I do it. No, the Joker's not a movie.
Vinny. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault, Vinny.
Well, I know it's not my fault, but
It's fault, Vinny.
Point it on the doll where they touched you.
Here's the thing. It's boring. If there's anything that takes me out of the story, it's when I see ass cheeks.
Why are you going right? Why are you going?
I don't care.
What is your hang up about ass
sure.
cheeks?
I'm pretty sure they're not going to put ass cheeks in the Harry Potter show.
No.
Well, if Disney buys it, maybe. Tee-hee.
There's no nudity in Princess Bride.
I never seen it. I wouldn't know.
There's action.
I don't get you.
Just
What'd
Do
you
you
get?
do you like anything other than like punch kick movies, or
Yeah, like pew 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 pew.
so just violence?
there's
No.
sword fighting.
No. Have you ever seen Captain Fantastic, Into the Wild? Trying to think. The Patriot. Apocalypto. Dances with Wolves.
It's a lot of murder.
Yeah.
A lot of murder.
It's a lot of murder.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. Batman and Robin. Great movie.
Do you like
A lot of pain.
anything happy?
Anything happy?
Yeah, do you like any happy movies?
Ace Ventura. Ace Ventura 2.
What about the Muppets?
I used to like the Muppets, and then, I grew up.
Even the Muppet movie that came out maybe 10 years ago.
The Muppet.
Zero?
There's the Muppet Show that was on ABC.
Oh, they were great.
That was
You
fucking
still love
awesome.
Muppet Babies. Remember that cartoon on Nick Jr.?
Yeah,
Or Nick
I love
Nickelodeon? It was Nick Jr.
Love
at that
Muppet
time.
Babies.
At what age did you strangle your inner child?
Yeah.
Well, I got my blue belt when I was 16, and I started jiu-jitsu when I was 15, 14. It's probably somewhere in there where I learned how to choke things out.
Okay, so that's when you got efficient.
That's when I got more efficient with my tactics.
It's like there's plenty of guys who are ass kickers and also like really into like emotional stuff.
Oh, I love Titanic.
Okay,
hold
the
on.
fuck on. Hold on. If there's one movie where an ass is just pushed up in your face for no fucking reason, it's Titanic.
Yeah.
I don't get you. I concur.
Yep.
Echo.
Well, your girls, Jack. That's an iconic scene.
Bro, you were fucking. I'm
Tell
moving.
me that's not an iconic scene. How many times have you guys said that in your life?
I'm moving on.
Look at your girls, Jack.
I'm
You
moving
to this
on.
mic?
There's
We're going to get you to watch The Princess Bride.
There's just no. There's like, I don't. It's just.
What else was a good movie?
I'm moving on. Last
Yeah,
thing I
please.
got here. The high price of eggs and other breakfast staples is forcing some to look for cheaper breakfast alternatives. How about ramen? Cup Noodles, the budget-friendly food company, has created a breakfast version of their instant ramen, which mixes together the flavors of sausage, maple syrup pancakes, and eggs in a saucy texture that comes to life with water. Aptly titled Cup Noodles Breakfast, the meal takes 4 minutes to cook in the microwave and results in a soup-based ramen that also contains visible ingredients of sausage and eggs. Eaters are encouraged by the company to customize it with hot sauce, more syrup, or even rice. Priscilla
4 million
Stanton,
grams of sodium.
Priscilla Stanton, Senior Vice President in Marketing for Nissan Foods USA, compared it to a classic diner breakfast in a cup, without the hassle of making a full meal with all of those ingredients. This idea was about how you bring all of those great breakfast cravings into one cup, she told CNN. The company's research discovered that egg, sausage, and pancake were the picks to create the best breakfast combination. Nissan moving into breakfast isn't a great leap for the company, said Neil Saunders, an analyst at Global Data Retail. The wacky mix of ingredients is on brand for Cup Noodles, which often fuses traditional noodles with local flavors that it thinks will be appealing to consumers. And that's all I got to say about that.
Do you want to eat the sodium equivalent of a Himalayan pink salt rock every morning?
Personally, no.
Cup of sodium.
Has that CEO ever eaten at a diner?
What?
Has that CEO ever eaten at a diner? He knows it's not just the salt shaker you dump in your mouth, right?
No, you need to put some bouillon in there too, apparently.
Some bouillon with some salt and hot water.
Mm-hmm. And powdered egg. Nothing tastier, I hear, than powdered egg.
Yeah. Powdered egg. Powder.
And how do you get sausage that's sausage in cup of noodle?
You don't know. Freeze dry.
Science.
Freeze dry.
Lots of scary science.
There you go. That's the news.
All right. Anybody else have any news they want to bring up? Any stories du jour, or whatever the equivalent of week is?
Well, Beth and I decided to eat salads yesterday, and I bit into a freaking almond and cracked a tooth. Yet today we decided to eat healthy, fucking crack a tooth on one.
How'd you crack a tooth on an almond, bro?
I don't know. I crunched it. She wanted to make Asian chicken salad. She was so stoked about it. I air fried chicken. We had crunchy wontons, almonds, the dressing, a whole bunch of different like green shit in it.
So
I'm eating it, and
I'm assuming you used whole almonds as opposed to sliced almonds.
no, they were sliced almonds.
So you cracked your tooth on a sliced almond?
I don't know. It was either that or one of the crunchy wonton noodles.
Wow.
But I'm crunching, and then I heard that we both heard really big crunch, and I'm like, that's really crunchy. And I feel around, I'm like, I fucking cracked a tooth.
How much of it is off?
Half of it.
That's not good.
That's a big one.
Get that.
Yeah.
Get that fixed.
Yeah, yep, going to the dentist next Thursday. Yep.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that one linger. Trust me.
It doesn't hurt, though.
Yet.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Not fun. Not fun when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still dealing with the my foot dragging on the one up here, the one next to my canine. I'm pretty sure I did nerve damage by not getting that pulled quick enough. Yeah, daily headaches. Oh, while we're talking about cooking, I actually cooked myself a steak the other day.
Yay!
Didn't burn down the house, and it tasted good. I think I cooked a perfect medium rare steak.
Nice.
And I owe it all to Guga Foods.
I like the fact that you said medium rare.
Guga.
You didn't say, like, well done or anything, because...
Oh, fucking no. Who's eating that shoe leather?
Anything more than medium rare is a tragedy.
My wife and my child.
They want...
Ash can do slight pink, but James is...
Where the nutrients are at.
James is... He's a young child.
I want to poke my fork into a steak, and I want it to moo.
Like, medium. Medium is... I can live with medium.
You eat beef heart?
Beef heart?
What?
Beef heart?
Oh, no, Vinny, we've heard your beef heart story before.
Dude, it's cheap and it's really good.
Yeah, great. You're a fucking barbarian, blah, 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 blah. Anyways.
Are we going to become Heart King now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
all the nutrition's in the fucking heart.
Well, because the heart of the ocean is already in the ocean, so I guess I'm the heart of the land.
You're the king of this podcast, man.
Oh, that's the last bit of news we didn't talk about. They announced the live-action Moana.
Oh, that's right.
Because there's such a clamoring for that. The Rock was like, I need to make something that people are gonna love. I can't do Black Adam again. I know everybody loves Moana, live action Moana, and then the internet was like, but why? Because
so they're gonna get like 90% of the cast to return.
Yeah, dress Alan Tudyk in a fucking chicken costume.
And I will be there in the theater watching it.
He said Hey Hey's going to be there. You know they're not going to have Hey Hey in it. If he is, he's not going to go on the journey with him. Like, how do you recreate this movie less than fucking 10 years after it came out? Like, dude, I got to check. I got to see when it comes out.
Because it's all about original ideas.
It's not that old because
2016.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of the first dates Ashley and I had.
Like, how fucking desperate? That looks so desperate.
Because it is desperate.
Disney's already got a Moana series on Disney Plus in the works.
I mean, that's great. I would love to watch a Moana series. I'd at least a few episodes.
Here's the thing.
Makes sense for the character.
Does it though? What the fuck are you gonna do?
Have them traveling from island to island?
Doing what? The problem was fucking solved.
There's new problems. you follow these characters as they go from island to island.
I don't care.
Meeting new people.
I don't. That's the thing. Like, I like the movie and everything, but it's a one and done. Like, okay, cool, cute story. Oh, the monster ends up being Tafiti. Great. She puts the heart back. Okay, cool. Now he gets his hook back. Okay, good. Oh, they're island hoppers again. All right, the end. I'm fine. We don't need to go back. There's nothing. There's no draw to go back to this world for a sequel. If you want to retell the story with live people, knock your socks off. I'm not going to watch it because I've already watched.
That makes no sense to me.
I've watched the fucking animated thing over and over and over again.
If we can tell more fun stories with the same characters,
What fun stories are you going to tell me of that world that they explored already in that first movie?
They explored the entirety of the South Pacific. There's no other people there that they can interact with and do interesting stuff.
Yeah, what are they going to do, Mike?
I don't know. I'm not from the South Pacific. There's plenty of their culture that we could be exposed to by them doing a show.
I've got nothing. I don't.
I know what they could do. They could find Vin Diesel and Paul Swimmer. We could insert my Fast and the Furious characters that are the underwater equivalent of the Fast Furious franchise.
See, Mike, that's what you have to look forward to if they do a fucking series.
No, they're going to have real writers.
Finn Diesel.
Vin Diesel, right? Because he's got a fin to fish.
Yeah.
Trust me. Nothing involving Finn Diesel will be on a show executive produced by The Rock.
And Paul Swimmer, because he's not walking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
No, they'll have Finn Diesel on there, and then Maui eats him.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle Fishing Rodriguez. Okay.
I don't see if you got any more.
I'm trying to think. No. I don't know any of the characters' names.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
We could keep going for, like, Statham. Jason Statham.
Oh, Tyrese Gibbs Under the Sea.
Please.
Jason Rostrum? No.
Please stop. Please stop it.
Well, okay, that's pretty much a No, I gotta do nerds. Anybody got douches?
I have a douche.
I have a nerd.
I have a douche.
I have a quite surprising nerd. You guys be very happy.
Over the weekend,
Star Trek?
at one of the wrestling conventions, there's a transgendered wrestler, other than Nyla Rose out there, that came forward over an incident that happened with a former wrestling legend at one of these conventions. So this is the story that she had put out there. I've been bullied all my life and have never stood up for myself because I'm scared that I would get beat up physically, mentally, or emotionally. The bullies in my life have always silenced me, but that ends today. I was at an autograph signing event today at WrestleCon, and while I was walking to my table, I hear someone yelling, "You're a man, you're a dude, you're a piece of trash, you are filth, get the fuck away from here." I kept my head down and kept walking as I did not want to acknowledge that hate. When I arrived at my table, I spoke to another Impact Wrestling talent who was at the signing with me and mentioned the incident. It didn't sit well with me, and I wanted to know who was saying that because it's unacceptable. So I decided to take a walk in that area, and I hear that same person saying the same derogatory comments. I looked at the person, and it was Rick Steiner saying those statements. I was shocked and could not believe that this was even happening. To have someone saying these comments, who a lot of people look up to and consider their hero, was quite shocking and disheartening. I was in disbelief, so I asked him, "Excuse me?" He kept repeating those hateful phrases and started yelling at me in a public setting. It was inexcusable and unacceptable. Another disappointing part about this whole incident was that there were other wrestling legends who just sat there, turned their heads away, did not want to get involved or stand up for what's right because it involved one of the boys. Judging from that experience, it was more important for them to watch something wrong go down as opposed to standing up for someone who's being bullied and doing what's right. I'm not writing this because I want sympathy. I'm writing this because I'm done being bullied to silence. Today's International Transgender Day of Visibility, and I'm standing up for myself and for other people who go through the exact same situation on a daily basis. I want everyone to know what kind of deplorable person Rick Steiner is and that this cannot be tolerated. This keeps happening because people let it slide and do not take any action. If you do business with these types of people, then it will not then I will not do business with you. I want to thank all of my Impact peers who were present during the incident and tried to defuse the situation. Fortunately, a member of that same peer group was also verbally accosted by Rick Steiner, being called I'm only saying this in context of it because she mentions the word and it is in quotes, but Rick Steiner being accosted by Rick Steiner being called a faggot earlier in the day. I am very fortunate to be working alongside such incredible people in a company that has no room for hate, bullying, or judgment. We're not just co-workers, but a family. So, out of the Steiner brothers, that's not the one that I figured would be so hateful and just...
Yeah, Rick's been really quiet over the decade or two.
Scott would be the one that I would see, but I guess, everybody's got issues, so fuck Rick Steiner.
Fuck Rick Steiner.
I do have a nerd. You want me to go through mine real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
One Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
Both wrestling, huh?
Tomorrow is MJF Day. He got the key to the city of Long Island, where he's from.
Ooh, what an honor.
And he put out the important rules for MJF Day. If you see MJF, you have to admit he's better than you and you know it, then hand him $50. Everyone who attends UBS Arena must come with a scarf or be refused entry. Everyone who attends the show must buy MJF merch or be escorted off the premises. Everyone who is not attending the show must buy MJF merch at shopaew.com. When you wake up on MJF Day, you must listen to at least 3 songs by the following artists: Louis Prima, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Sammy Davis Jr., and Justin Bieber. And lastly, if you see a homeless person on the street, kick them in the ribs.
Wow.
Because
looks like you'll always be the second heel in the world, huh?
Because they're filthy pores.
Was that your editorialism?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You want to drop your nerd, Ben?
So last week, I watched a podcast, Whiskey Ginger, with Andrew Santino. He had a special guest on, someone he was filming a movie with in Australia by the name of John Cena. I put an hour and a half into this podcast, listened to it in its entirety.
Uh-huh.
I've turned cheek. I may or may not be a John Cena fan. I'm no longer on this side. I'm now on the fence.
Whoa. And why would that be?
That's why I like podcasts, because you could actually listen to him talk and be normal and not speak Mandarin.
Okay.
So it humanized him. And
wait, did you hate him for the fact that like everyone else who works for that company, he had to bend the knee to those douchebags over there?
No, I didn't like him back in the day because he would walk around wearing tights, and then he came out in shorts and started rapping, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy?
It's interesting. The interesting story about that. So when he was doing the tights gimmick, and everybody in the audience was kind of like, "Oh, he's pretty cool," everybody backstage, like Vince, Shane, Hunter, and Stephanie, didn't like him. He was on his way out, and then he was on an international tour, and he heard like Rey Mysterio, I think, and Rikishi like busting rhymes in the back, and he got in on it, and Stephanie heard it and really liked it, and that's how the whole rapping John Cena gimmick got started.
Yeah, he's just a guy trying to make it.
Yeah.
Hard worker. I didn't know he was on Mad TV either.
Yeah.
Apparently appeared on Mad TV.
Well, it's not exactly like The Rock going on SNL, but we all got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So, my nerds this week. I don't know if you guys have seen the Ozzy commercial for PSVR 2. I don't know if it's just my algorithm that it's hilarious watching Ozzy with the headset on. So give that 30 seconds or so. Have you seen the woman going around conventions dressed as Desdemona?
Who's that?
No.
The character from Gargoyles.
Yes.
I'll
I have.
share it in the group. It's one of the best cosplays I've seen in a long time. Where are you at, sister? And I'll send another one along with it that I ran into. Someone, they didn't do my costume, my Mando costume, but they did a very creative mashup. One that Justin will appreciate. A Ghostbuster Mandalorian. A Ghostolorian.
Whoa, that's
Who's
cool.
in that picture with the cosplayer?
Yeah, that part too. That's extra awesome. There's another picture of her taking one of those paid-for shots with Jonathan Frakes, and the look on his face is just like, these fucking people are crazy.
That's fucking great, man.
Sirtis.
Yep.
The woman she played. Because, that's the voice
Mm-hmm.
of Desdemona. That is some next-level, high-quality play right there.
That is a
nice.
great costume.
Yeah.
But you're right, that Mandalorian Ghostbuster is pretty fucking awesome. That jetpack proton pack is cool.
Some things were just destined to be together. Okay, get the other ones out the way.
You should post these on the Facebook so our fans can see them.
Fuck them.
Because they need to see this awesomeness that we are talking about right now.
They need to go eat a dick.
They also no, they don't. We love them.
What do they need to do?
They need to email to nerdities@gmail.com to win the only other Nerdities hat in existence.
Push it, Joe.
nerdaties@gmail.com. Subject line: free hat. You get a hat and a dozen fresh baked Justin cinnamon rolls.
That's right.
You will love them.
Well, good dog.
But you won't, because you're all fucking too fucking lazy.
They will, because they know how awesome this hat and those rolls will be.
Worthless pores.
Keep hope alive, Joe. Keep hope alive. The crew of the Artemis 2, they're my nerds of the week. First crew going back to the moon.
Mm-hmm. That is cool. That is really cool.
About a decade.
In this suit.
Yeah, they're orange now.
Yeah.
There's a Canadian one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you going there? Oh, yeah, going to space, huh? What is good for you there?
First woman. First person of color.
Going to the moon.
Yeah.
Is this a SpaceX rocket? Is this like a SpaceX NASA merger?
Everything is now.
Yeah.
It's the only way they go up is using those Tesla rockets.
Yeah, because NASA had the technology, but then they destroyed it. Because you do that.
Well, if it's rocket technology, you don't want it getting into their hands.
They had
Martians?
Pretty sure they already have.
Nazis made it, anyways. Nazis made NASA.
No, we're not Indiana Jones. Nazis aren't the bad guys anymore.
No, I guess they technically were on our team, but just took the German Nazis and they were like, hey, you guys are really good at science. Help us science? Like, yeah. We're gonna go.
Well, it was either with the German scientists, Hitler went, you're going to build this stuff or we kill your families.
No, after the war, we're like, oh, you guys, we don't care that you're working for the Nazis. Come over here. We got rockets we need you to make.
Yeah, pew, right? Come on. Rock flag and
with the Russians. There was an Australian company that had made a mammoth meatball. They made a meatball out of mammoth meat.
Nice.
How do you...
They cultivated mammoth meat out of a single cell.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're at scientifically. Yeah.
We are one step away from Jurassic Park. I know it. Yeah,
I will applaud the science.
Yeah.
So busy asking if they could. They never just bothered to ask whether they should put any toppings on. Okay. We don't have a Kyle, so if you like what you hear, you can go to nerdies.com, gmail.com. Just go to every fucking social site. We're on there.
nerdies@gmail.com.
Just doesn't matter.
Gull Godot, like seagull. Say Gull Godot.
Gal Gadot. All right. But that's not her character. Well, that's right. You're going off of their acting names. Yeah.
However, I can shoot her in there. There's really no rhyme or reason.
Why don't you just don't try any harder?
Why don't you full douche yourself?
What's your spiel, Justin, after Kyle talks?
Buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/nerdities. You won't because you're lazy.
Yeah, I'll finish that because you're Boris and I'm Justin and shut up.
Wait, which one of you was just talking?
Excuse me, sir. I'm not done with my spiel.
I mean, I could have swore that was like coming out of Vinny's lips, but it sounded so much like Justin, I couldn't be sure if you were throwing your voice.
Yeah, he's good like that.
I am very good like that.
Not
so good, just like my cinnamon rolls, which can be purchased via Sinful Creations by Justin. Not just cinnamon rolls, but gourmet brownies, cookies, and hand pies. Not those kinds, you fucking perverts. And for a nicer, gentler version of Justin, when I talk about subjects that, make me happy, which isn't any of you people, you can listen to Can't Stop the Rope Drop, my Disney podcast with my beautiful wife, my angsty teenager, and guests, like Joe and Mike.
For now.
Yeah.
Did you guys do one last weekend?
We didn't because I was so fucking busy. And so this weekend we have to...
Gotta catch up on.
We got to do one Exposing James, and we got to do a Can't Stop the Rope Drop.
Oh, and the Exposing James is going to be one that we've been waiting a while to do.
Oh, I am so fucking excited.
Yeah. We can even tease this. Is this the next Exposing we're going to drop?
Yeah. This is going right up.
Okay. 3 words.
Oh, speaking of a little tease, I'm just going to throw it out there. One of our favorite guests returns next week to join us on the One Above All, the lovely Sophie Queen. It'll be Joe and Vinny's first time meeting our dear friend. And I'm excited to hear what she's got going on. And I'm also excited to ambush her with a question we have. If she'd like to join Nerdities for a very special project.
Speaking of projects, please go to youtube.com to the Nerdities channel. Watch our videos. If you would like to sponsor Nerdities or just basically give us money so we could keep doing fun stuff and, increase our technology and, make the show better and broaden our horizons, please write at nerdities@gmail.com while also entering to win a free hat. Give us money. We will croon. I will beg. I will totally whatever we need to do.
What he's
for you to
saying
give us money
is he'll suck your dick.
Ew,
he did it.
Within reason.
Hey, man, you want this hat for free, man? When you go crazy.
Something. Tell me what we fuck.
But wouldn't you like to sponsor this show? Come on, this is some top quality entertainment right here.
Yeah, it is.
Also, can we just pay homage to the fact that Joe said to increase our technology?
I wasn't the only one who caught that.
Maybe. Say something good. Okay, increase our technology?
I work in IT.
I thought that was a Borg reference. I don't know about anybody else.
No.
I cannot wait for his essay. Oh, it's going to be so
well
good.
worded, too. Now, this ChatGPT shit, we need it to be your words. Trust me, we'll know you're writing.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've written essays pretty recently. I can help you.
The only other Nerdities hat in the world, and it could be yours.
Your tears are so sweet and salty at the same time, Joe.
Just email us at nerdities@gmail.com. Just say that every other word now.
Alright. Let's end this shit.
To may quote the captain from Super Troopers, desperation is a stinky cologne. The opinions of Nerdy's crew are idiotic, part of that, but don't worry, next seems to be far more insulting. Fuck, bye. I think we got something. Bye.
Fuck you.
Too host.
And why should I care? Drop!